everybody, and welcome back once again. Here we are with another edition of Inside the Headset. It's week 8. It's game 8. And I've got on the phone with me the head coach of the William Blount Governors, head coach Philip Shadowens. How are you doing, Coach Shad?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. You ended up there with a loss against Science Hill. You're sitting at 2-5. You got a rough one on Friday night, a team that's undefeated. But talk about where you are as a William Blount Governor.
Well, I didn't think we played very well last Friday. To be honest with you, we were on fall break. We had the kids there all day Friday, and for whatever we came out and offensively played pretty well, but defensively was by far our worst effort of the year. It was 14-14. It was 28-21. We just couldn't stop them defensively. I just thought we played poor. Our alignment was poor. We just did things we hadn't done all year long, and so it was a frustrating night for the Govs for sure. We came back this week with a very, very tough physical week of practice. You know me, I don't care about who the opponent is. It's about playing football the way you're supposed to play football, and that's what we worked on this week.
Injury-wise, where are you?
We're in pretty good shape injury-wise. Hadn't really lost anybody from that standpoint. We've got some dings and some ankles and this and that and the other, but nothing that's going to keep us out of playing on Friday night. Nothing that's really kept us out of practicing. We've shortened some reps for kids this week in practice just because of some injuries, but so we're pretty good for going into week 8 and playing the teams we play. We're in pretty good shape injury-wise.
Where do you? You're 2-5, Coach. You got 3 games left. Best case scenario, you want to win the next 3, but where are you? The worst thing can happen is you lose the next 3 and you end up 2-8. You don't want to be there. But I'm just trying to figure out. What do you think about the Govs, and just as far as what it's in their hands, isn't it, Coach?
It is, and where our program's at is that there's not a lot of margin for error. But the thing that everybody would tell you that's watched us play football all year long is the progress made has been astronomical. We've been in every game except the Alcoa game. We threw a pick first play of the game, kind of got us the snowballs, rolling on us there. But really had opportunities to win every game we've played in, to be quite honest, and including even Friday night against Science Hill, who was probably the most athletic team from top to bottom we played all year long. But just defensively, just played so poorly. And we fumbled a kickoff return, couldn't get off the field. We had the ball for 3 plays the entire third quarter Friday night. So I see lots of progress. What I don't like is how we played defense on Friday night, because the biggest progress we've made is on the defensive side of the ball, where we've kept ourselves in games. Offensively, we've thrown too many picks. We've turned the ball over too much, and that's been the result. That's how we've lost a bunch of close games this year. But you see the progress. You've seen lots of progress on the field. We haven't been able to finish some games, obviously, that we had an opportunity to finish, and so we sit here at 2-5. So for me, it's not about the next 3 opponents. It's not about any of that. I want to play football the right way. We have a ton of young kids, ton of sophomores that are playing a lot of reps for us, and we have a few seniors, but we have a ton of sophomores and juniors, mostly sophomores. But I want to see the progress made from the standpoint that I've seen the first 6 weeks of the season, which was we're going to play our tails off, we're going to fight you to the very last drop, and we're going to have a chance to win late in the fourth quarter. And once you get to that stage, you keep knocking on that door, you eventually win football games. Well, Friday night we didn't play good enough defense to get us to that point, and that was disappointing for us. But so what I expect from this point forward is the same thing I expected from day one, is that we're going to play 48 minutes of hard-nosed, tough football, and we got to find a way to finish those games at the end.
Well, and where are the seniors at right now? Where are they kind of as far as their destiny? You're guaranteed 4 more for the the playoff game, but where's their leadership right now? And you talked about some of those younger guys. So apparently you're getting some guys that are catching on to the Shad system.
Well, we've had good leadership throughout the year, but Friday night we didn't, and so I called them out. I'm not, you've been around me a long time, Stork. You know the deal. I'm a truth teller. I think you got to tell the truth, and so when you play like we did Friday night with the lack of leadership we had Friday night, then I'm going to call you out on that, and we did. We held kids accountable for that on the practice field. We held them accountable for that in the film room on Monday, and so we showed them. And you explain to me why this is the effort that you're giving. Explain to me why you don't line up correctly for the first time in a game all year long. But this, and so we just held them accountable. The seniors have been great for us. Honestly, they bought in. They played really, really hard. But Friday night it just wasn't there for us. I don't believe in having bad games. I mean, your intensity level should never change. Emotions change every day. We know that. And so, okay, it wasn't an emotional game because you've been on fall break and, whatever. But the
Right.
intensity level should never change. And I thought Friday night for the first time our intensity level was at a lower volume than it needs to be and than it had been all year long. And so I was disappointed in that. I showed the kids that. I, went through our expectations again, and they responded with a wonderful week of practice. And so when they practice their tails off, they've done everything we've asked them to do. I've been, really pleased with that. So from that standpoint, the future is really bright at William Blount High School. It really is. But I keep saying those things over and over again. But until you see that, with wins on a Friday night, then people are pessimistic, or the outsiders are. But I know from a football coaching standpoint, I know what I see on video, I know what I see in the weight room, and I know what I see every day at practice. We have made up a lot of ground this year, and we're ready to take the next step. But we need to finish the year like we're supposed to, and that's playing our tails off for 48 minutes a game. And whatever happens, happens. But if we have a chance to win a ball game at the end, we got to learn to finish, and hopefully we get in some of those opportunities through the rest of the season.
Had a chance to probably look at the video of the Merville Rebels. The quarterback is really good. What do you like about Merville this year versus other years? What do they look like? Same as always, or what do they look like?
They're a typical Merville team. They have a lot of really good high school football players. They're probably led by T.D. Brightman, who's their inside linebacker, but he's been out for, I think 4 weeks with a knee injury. He may come back Friday night. I've heard that he would come back and be able to play some, to kind of ease him back in. He had a minor knee surgery, I think 4 weeks ago, something like that. So they've lost some people on the injuries, and so they're playing a few young kids at certain positions that they normally don't. They have a talented quarterback in the Hopkins kid that can run and throw. He's known as a better runner than thrower, but yet at times he gets really hot in his throw game, and he's very accurate. And at times he's not as accurate, but he's still just a junior, certainly a talented kid. They have I think the strength of their team. They're good up front like they always are, but they have a bunch of running backs that can run the ball. Whether they're fullbacks or tailbacks, you can't tell the difference. They block for one another. And they probably go, their top 4 running backs are all really, really good football players. And I think that's kind of where they hang their hat. And then their quarterback, of course, is probably the fastest kid on the team. So they're running games where they hang their hat, and then they run a lot of RPOs, wrun pass option stuff. If you try to load the box, and they'll try to take advantage of you loading the box to throw little quick hitters, off of a run game. So they're scoring a lot of points. They scored a lot of points on everybody throughout the year. Because they do have weapons throughout. I don't know that they have, besides TD, I don't know that they have, the big-time SEC athletes. Some years they've had that. They've had 1 or 2 of those. They never
Right.
have a bunch of those. But, Merville just has a bunch of really good high school players that are maybe Division II football players in college.
Right.
This year they have TD, who's a Division I kid, but other than that, I'm not sure that they have a Division I kid. A college player, but they got a bunch of really good, well-coached high school football players, and they probably go 35 or 40 deep, and I think that's where Merville gets you. They don't play both sides of the ball. They mostly play one side, and they probably go 40 deep and of good football players. And I think that's how they, people that do play them close. Last week, Dobbins Bennett, or 2 weeks ago, Dobbins Bennett played them really, really tough, but eventually got wore down late in the game. A few weeks ago, Science Field played them tough. Got wore down. It was 14-7.5. They got wore down late. And so I think that, being so deep is really is probably what they're, maybe what they hang their hat on right now, because they don't have a ton of Division I type of players. They just got a ton of good players.
Well, we'll wrap it up. You're going over there and take them on. We'll be off next week. I got to go to Auburn to do the auction and everything for Coach Dye. But I did want to wrap it up and say, Coach, Octavius is doing really good. He's 8th in the country, and he is really, really doing good. Yeah,
I've been proud of it. We've got a lot of kids playing college football right now, from kids that I've coached, and Octavius and Jawan get a lot of attention.
Oh, yeah.
Table of floors up here at Tusculum. You got a kid at East Tennessee State. We got kids kind of spread around through there playing college football. But Octavius, we've texted him and congratulated him, told him how proud we are. We've done the same thing with Jawan at UT, obviously. And so it's good to see some former players, doing the things in the college game that we thought they could do. And so certainly proud of that. I know both of them, Jawan takes on Alabama this week, and Octavius takes on Western Kentucky, probably for a conference championship there. And looking forward to watching both those games. I think I can find a way to watch them both, and certainly proud of those kids.
Coach, be careful. Have a great week this week and a better week next week. Come away with some W's, and I'll see you the last week of regular season. I'll call you then, and we'll talk then.
Sounds good, brother. See you, Stuart.
All right, bye.